Hi everyone. For this next video, I'm going to be having a bit of fun. I have got a not too expensive wine glass, in fact not expensive at all. It is not lead crystal. It's but it's a fairly good quality glass. Fairly thickish down the bottom here, so I'm going to try and have a bit of fun down here. You will see that I have had a little bit of fun with a waxy pencil and very scraggly drawn some very random leafy shapes going around it with a gap at the front. And that is simply because I want to do a little demonstration of layering one leaf on top of another leaf. It's as simple as that. And once I've completed the whole glass, then it can be available for sale with this blank space in the front for anyone to, request a name or some sort of detail on in the gap. So I'm going to be having fun because I've got several new burrs that I'm trying out. These are described as very coarse sintered diamonds. So now that means, of course, that the diamond coating it's not a coating, sorry, the diamond grit goes all the way through. And so as I use this should absolutely chew into that glass. Even though it's not lead crystal, it should be a piece of cake to engrave. And I want to be quite random and quite aggressive with the engraving. I don't want to necessarily do this super neat, smooth engraving. I want to get in there and gouge away and have some fun. But the whole idea is to show you a good way of engraving one item on top of another item. Okay, right, let's have some fun.
First up is a blue stone, only because it was nearest to me, and it's just a half-tone stone. Grab any old stone just to do a quick sketch of roughly where the leaves are, give you a basic outline, and there you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I'm only teasing. Right, that is obviously the very beginning. Now I have these lovely sintered diamond burrs to play with. This is the larger one at the moment. You can see I'm holding it on its side and trying to get a good effect from it. There's sort of streaky lines. That's why it's important to go in the flow of whatever you are engraving, so that the effects of it are significant. So there's lovely streaky lines. I don't know what these leaves are. I've just made them up. They're almost like banana leaves, which is a lot of you probably don't know banana leaf, but they are quite long and floppy. So I am aware that as I am touching this glass, it is just chewing straight into it. So here, where this leaf is behind another leaf, you can see down the bottom of it, I've gone over the other little sketch slightly, and I've gone very lightly over it. And then as I come up, I am going deeper and deeper. Not too deep as you get to the upper areas of the glass, because that is a thinner glass, but it's still quite deep. And but the idea when you are overlapping something, using this method that I'm using now, it is to keep that area shallow. The area behind the item in front has to be shallow. so that when you engrave the item in front, it is deeper. So now I'm going to try that now. You can see this big long floppy leaf is going across the bottom. Excuse me, I'm just wiping the screen. Well, the lens rather. Honestly, at least I remembered this time. I had to do that actually several times during this video because it is right over the top of this glass. I'm using a lot of water and it's spitting out lots and lots of glass dust. Anyway, so doing the leaf that is on top of the one we have just engraved, in fact also going over the other one as well, I am going much, much deeper. And this brings the whole leaf to the front. It also creates a good ridge so that when you run the rubber over that ridge, it will pick it up. Now, you can see I've changed my angle of holding the drill, and this just keeps it on the side nicely. It's just an easy way of doing this. Again, I'm pointing out that one's over the top, and I'm going to start by doing the bottom one again. Very lightly. And then let's do the top part of the leaf very lightly as well, just like we did the previous one, and then really getting stuck in there as we go further up the leaf. I'm not going to the very point of it. Obviously, I've got a really big burr in my hand, and so I need to keep that for a smaller burr. I know I'm doing this quite rough and ready. I could have, but just stuck to the two burrs. But I'm going to just finish off the points so that they are a little bit neater. So going on to the leaf in the front, and they're going nice and deep. I don't know what I was looking at there, but anyway, nice and deep. And you can see the lovely streaky effect that this very coarse sintered diamond burr is creating. Turning the glass just makes it easier for the action because I want that angle of stroke, and this is just easier. There are parts obviously that are not quite neat yet, but it's just getting to the basics of it, because everything else can be done with smaller burrs. This is the bit that's bending over, and the background that will be shaded as well. So obviously that's behind, so I've just gone over the area that is in the front. You can see how deep, looking through the glass. Right, there are obviously a lot of really scruffy little edges to sort out. I've actually got still quite a large burr, but just slightly smaller than the other one, different shape, more rounded. And I'm going to just go over some funny areas, put some really thick chunky stalks, because I think I've decided these are banana leaves. And going through all the stalks, you can see I've just dragged them down a little bit. Very random this is. Okay, so I've grabbed a white stone. I'm just showing you that it is not the darker one that's there. That's a really soft tone of the Dura White. This is not Dura White. This is slightly rougher, as I'm demonstrating here. I am running it very, very lightly over all the areas I feel that need it, the edges where I can see a little bit of clear glass, just smoothing them out without removing that ridge, because that ridge is important. I need to keep the ridge, but I just want to get rid of the clear glass rather, and just sort of softening the edges. This will kind of smooth out an area, making it easier for polishing, and so roughly that sort of thing. Incidentally, I am running this video at 200% of normal speed, so you can see I'm going rather speedily. Normally I do it 120%, but today I'm doing 200%, simply because it is quite a simple video. You can see underneath where I'm about to shade on the ones behind as well. I kind of am smoothing out, like just then I smoothed out that area a little bit more, because I'm going to be putting, and there, I'm going to be adding my rubber to that. And this fold over area as well. There's so many ways that you can deal with the middle of the leaf. I could have made those ridges really, really neat and just kept them as ridges, which will make them look like a dent in the leaf, which is quite effective. But I'm actually going to run a diamond at some point over the middle. This is a slightly smaller sintered diamond, and as you can see, I'm going to make something out of that rather offline squiggly top. So I'm doing a tiny little fold over at the top of this leaf. And also this spur is sort of easier to run down and neaten some of the edges a little bit where they were a little bit rough. Now you can see I've got a couple of spiky bits sticking out of this leaf as well, which I'll probably deal with now, I hope. Yes, here we go. So I'm going to just extend that out a little bit. And kind of make it look like a wider fold. It'll be clearer later when I add the shading. This is all fantasy, remember? So not a botanical study. Just neatening off the top of that leaf and bringing it round so that it is looks more convincing as a fold over. This burr is also one I can use to smooth out an area slightly, because it is it's not a coarse diamond. Just going over a couple of the stalks. Actually, have I ever engraved bananas before? That would be good fun. I'm sure I have. Long time ago. But certainly not lately. Who knows, I might add a bunch to this at some point. Anyway, so just neatening some of these stalks with this little diamond. Definitely not as coarse. It's probably, I don't even know if it's a medium. It might even be a fine diamond. Is very, very old, because that's what sintered diamonds do. They last for a long time because the grit is going all the way through. But this is very effective for neatening, as you see, the sharper ends. You can see the light catching the depths of this leaf. So even before doing any shading, and I have deliberately put these leaves so they virtually look like one leaf, but it's the depth that are going to convince you that one is definitely in front of the other. Here's another one I've got to just adapt slightly because I had some scraggy bits at the top. And that is very easily sorted out. There's this funny little fold over. I'm not convinced about that one. Anyway. So now, as I mentioned earlier, I am going to put a white center to all the leaves. Very simple. I've just picked up this long carving burr, which has got diamonds all the way down, but because I never use the top end of it, it's very, very sharp. So it's quite useful for something like this, cutting nicely, as you can see, in one easy stroke into the middle of the leaf. You can, of course, do these veins going out to the side, but I'm not going to do that in this case. I'm just keeping it down the center. I think all the streaky bits of the coarse diamond have done enough, quite frankly. Now I'm looking at this leaf and I am seeing something else, so I'm going to change it, and I am doing a curl up that wasn't there, if you can see. So it almost looks like the leaf is, well, supposed to look like the leaf is twisted up. And there we got another one. It helps define the direction of the top of the leaf, making it a little bit clearer. And also, I suppose, convinces you that this is on top of the other leaf. It's just another dimension. I am pressing fairly hard. I am confident that the glass is thick, and also that that diamond is really sharp, so it's not going to hurt the glass. Funny, I can't see it on that one leaf, but the lighting has changed. Okay, so what have I got? I've got a grey rubber in the drill, and I am very, very roughly and quickly zooming over these leaves, adding little bits of shaded area here and there. This being, of course, not a very dark shadow, because it is a softer rubber, but this rubber will sort of go into the glass a little bit more. You can make these shadows up. They can come from trillions and trillions of ways, whether it's a bit of dappled sunshine, whether it is a sort of a bit of a fold, an aging leaf. It could be anything, so you can make it up. It really doesn't matter. There are no rules. But I would say that certainly where the leaf is underneath, it is convincing to put a bit of shading on that. And then a rubber disc like this, which is quite hard, this will very effectively pick up those ridges that you've created by engraving deep. There you can see quite easily, and just roughly running it down the center, running along the edges, it just again adds another tone, a darker tone. I love light on dark, dark on light. That's the whole story of engraving on glass. think it's flowing quite well, and I'm back to my funny little fold over again, which I'm not happy with. And I think afterwards I go back to it yet again and sort it out. I think that leaf got a bit stretched. But hey, it doesn't matter. We could do this with feathers, quite frankly. I don't think I've done feathers with you yet. I don't often engrave feathers. They're quite popular in the engraving world. And we can certainly have a go at some feathers at some point. Just being a little bit picky with some rough edges. Using a different diamond here. This one is not a sintered diamond. This is a coated diamond. And once again, defining the fold over on that particular leaf. And this fold over that I decided needed to be there. Probably needs a bit more shading on it, quite frankly. And putting a bit of spine down the back of it, which is a little bit wobbly. And I can see some chippy bits which I don't like, but anyway, I think I'll sort that out at a later stage. That was a little rubber disc, just picking up those edges. I think it probably does need a bit of life. I don't think you would find a mouse in it. I don't know. Banana leaves? I don't know. Certainly in Africa you would find spiders sticking out of it. Right, I'm signing my name. Now, this is interesting because I picked a spot that was not in the front, and I thought I'd have a bit of fun with it, go slightly over the top of a leaf. And all that needs is a bit of a rubber just to define the top of the pea. But it's sometimes it is nice to if you are signing on the engraved area, to engrave your signature over the top of the engraving in areas. It's just again adds another dimension. Because normally I sign on the base of the glass. It doesn't matter. But in this case, I was a bit of a twit, and you will see because. As I spin it around, all very nice. Oh, I'm not going to show you. Oh, well, let me explain. When I turned it to the gap in the front, the signature was in fact showing through the gap, which was not a very good plan. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. See you soon. Bye for now.